We have officially made it to hump day. Good morning, traders. It's Wednesday, June 24th, and welcome to 20-Minute Trader Live TV. Listen, we're halfway through the week. My coffee's strong. My charts are up. I'm ready to trade. I'm actually really fired up for today's live stream because I brought in one of my good friends and my trading partners to trade along with us. But before I introduce my special guest, let's get a massive global energy check in the room this morning. Please let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Where is your location? Feel free to drop your city, your state, or your country in the chat. Let's see who's awake this Wednesday morning. Who's up and trading already? Good morning. Good morning. Yes. In the meantime, if you guys are interested in 20-Minute Trader or the gold pattern that I'm going to be trading, go ahead and type in the word class in the comments right now. If you guys are in Facebook or Instagram, don't wait to the end of the stream because the seats fill up pretty quickly and you will get a message straight to your DMs. Once you get that DM, click the link, make sure you register to secure your seat, and you will get a free ticket to the introductory web class. If you guys are in YouTube, just scroll down to the description, click the link there, and that's how you're able to register in YouTube. All right, good morning. Good morning, you guys. All right, let's start from the top. All right, Simple Views is in December. We got AutoWorks in South Africa. We got Punalan in India, Kerala. We have Towan and Brunson in Minneapolis. We have BB Girl in Florida. Amyo is in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Wow. Super cool. I know Grandpa Trades is in here from West Palm Beach. Who else is in here? Jeremy is from Northwest Missouri. Vanessa's in Texas. Good morning. Good morning, you guys. Good to see you. Thank you for sharing your morning with me, your afternoon, your evening. We're all here to do the same thing. We're all here to trade and learn. So that's what we're going to get into. If you guys have any questions while we are streaming, go ahead and type all of your questions into the comment section or the chat, and I will try to get to as many of them as possible. Before we get into that, I got to do the professional adulting daily briefing. So we're going to treat this stream like a high-level business, and we are going to be consistent, and we are going to practice with discipline, okay? So think about this next hour as a collaborative workshop. What you're looking at is basically an educational masterclass. I'm going to do this completely for free. I do this every single morning for you guys. This is absolutely not a signal service. It's not a trade copying room, and it's definitely not financial advice. So I'm a 20-Minute Trader student, and I'm a student of these charts. So I'm going to show you exactly what I'm looking at, what I'm looking for, and I'm going to take as many trades as possible so you guys can see if they're actually going to work out or not. It's not like I'm trying to win every single trade here, but I want to show you guys as many examples as possible during this hour, okay? We typically don't trade for an hour, but hopefully we're gonna get a lot of different patterns and setups so I can show you guys what they kind of look like and what to look for. So we are going to be trading the futures here on a 1-second chart. So it is pretty fast once you start, but then after a while, now when I look at a 1-second chart, it's actually pretty slow. So let's get into some of that kind of stuff. We are going to be doing live trading here, which means I have no idea which way today is going to end, but it really doesn't matter to me because I have no idea if my trade is going to hit my take profit, my cash register button, or if it's going to trigger my emergency break and hit my stop loss. But the professional reality of a professional trader is the outcome of a single trade really doesn't matter. We're going to take red trades. We're going to have red days. Obviously, we want to win. We're super competitive. We want to have green trades and green days, but it's inevitable for everybody to take losses. So if I do take a loss, you're going to see my reaction. I'm going to be like, oh, well, if I hit a great trade, I'll celebrate for a minute, not even a second, and then I'm on to the next one, right? So I'm not going to trade on guessing. I'm not going to be gambling here. And I'm just going to have a positive mindset stepping into the market, and I'm going to let the pattern play out, and we're going to see what happens with it, okay? Just know that I am trading the simplest bare bones of the gold pattern because I can't give away everything, right? So I'm going to be showing you 2 different criteria, and we'll even be able to trade off of just 2 different criteria of the gold pattern because it is that successful. Thousands of us are trading this every single day, and you guys will hear from Cameron later a little bit about it. So let me just describe a little bit of the chart and what's going on and what you guys are looking at. So I'm going to breeze through this pretty quick. All right, the trading platform that you guys are looking at, this is TradingView. This is the charting platform that you will start off in. You're going to practice here. You're going to trade in here. So you're going to need to get very comfortable. The cool thing about 20-Minute Trader is there's a live chart room that's open 8-9 hours a day. You're able to go in there. They'll help you set up your chart. You can save it. You can chat with them. They're live. They're actual traders too. If you ever mess up your chart, you can go in there the next day, say, hey, I don't know what's going on with my chart. Can you please help me? They're happy to help. Okay. So it's literally just a Zoom room that's open all the time. I think until like 9 or 10 at night, which is amazing because that's just live help. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. But let's get into the actual chart part. So we are going to be trading MES. MES is the S&P 500 futures index. That is the blue line. This is actually what I'm going to be trading, the direction of the blue line. If it's going up in the futures market, I can make money. I can make a profit. If the blue line is going down and dropping, I can also make a profit. So in the futures market, I can trade both directions. Also, to get that on your chart, you're just going to click the symbol search, type in MES, and you're just going to change your candles to lines right here, right there. Now, the orange line is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The ticker is YM. This is the 30 largest companies by industry in the United States, and we trade these against each other because typically they're moving together and they're parallel, but once they start coming apart, it's like this energy where we can actually predict the movement of the blue lines going to go. Okay. So when they start coming apart, that's going to be the first thing I'm looking for. Once I start seeing divergence, I will look for an entry point in the white line at the bottom. That is the relative strength index, or the RSI. That's just telling me the strength and the momentum of the average last movements of the blue line. So it's going to tell me how powerful the moves are. And just so everybody knows, I am trading on a 1 second chart. I said that earlier, but we are actually placing trades on a 1 second chart. And that's how we kind of spot this like secret pattern. That's what I'll call it. So right now, we don't have any divergence. Let me give you a few different examples of divergence. So divergence is the blue and the orange line going in opposite directions. The further apart that they are, the better. And it doesn't really matter if they're crossing each other or anything like that. But right now, if the blue line is pointing down, we can all see the blue line is pointing down. And the trend is going down as well, right? So we would want to take this trade going down. But for me to do that, for me to meet my criteria, I need the blue line to stay pointing down. I need the orange line to go flat or to be pointing up in the opposite direction. And I will trade that blue line going down. For my entry point, I would need this white line on the bottom to pop in the opposite direction of the blue line that I'm going to be trading. So if I'm trading the blue line down, I want to see the white line pop up like right here. It just did. And I would enter the trade to go down, right? But I do need two of them to happen. I need divergence for the blue and the orange to come apart. And I have to have an entry point in the RSI, or I just don't take that trade, right? Because the probability of that trade may not be the best. Now, the opposite, if the blue line was pointing up and we were traveling up, I would need that orange line to go flat or to be pointing down, right, in the opposite direction for me to actually take that blue line that's pointing up to trade it upwards, to go long or to take a buy. Now, if the blue line's pointing up, that white line needs to pop in the opposite direction, right? So that white line, I would actually be looking for it to pop down for an entry point to take that blue line going up, okay? It's that simple. It's 3 lines on a chart. That's all that I'm looking for. And we're going to start spotting some patterns. And what I'm just going to do right now is I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm just scrolling back on my scroll wheel, and I see that most of the morning we've been in a long downtrend, right? We had a pretty strong pullback here, but it wasn't an actual reversal to keep going up. So we're in a downtrend. We had a sharp pullback, and now we're continuing in that downtrend. So what we want to see is the Dow, the orange line, to go flat. And then we can look for an entry point in the RSI and the white line, and then possibly take a trade to go short or downward, okay, and make some money. So that's what I'm looking for right now. You always want to trade with the trend, and that's what we're going to do. So don't see anything on the chart right now. We have parallel lines, which means that that's no divergence, that's no trade. So we just wait. Every few minutes, the pattern tends to show up. And another cool thing about this is we're actually trading the futures market. So the futures market is open 23 hours a day. You're able to trade this like I'm doing before I go to work. You can trade this in the middle of the day. You can trade this at night before you go to bed. The only time that this is going to close is from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time for maintenance. Other than that, it's open 23 hours a day, but it does close over the weekend. So it's going to close Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and then it will reopen Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's actually one of my favorite times to trade as well. But this thing is open all the time and available, and the pattern is continuously showing up. So you just wait a couple minutes, spot the pattern, maybe see that entry point, jump on a trade. Then you waited a few more minutes, see the pattern, possibly jump on that trade. Now, don't feel like you ever have to jump on every single pattern, every single trade. And definitely don't feel FOMO, because there are so many trades to be had throughout the day, throughout the night, that there's always going to be the next trade appearing. Okay. So we want to be super patient. We want to be very disciplined and follow the rules. And that's how you become a professional, profitable trader, right? So we will see what patterns show up today, what trades we're going to take. And all right, I've been waiting all morning for this. And you guys know I don't trade alone. I have a lot of trading partners, a lot of trading groups. Community is everything in 20-Minute Trader Club. And it's actually a really cool thing, because everybody in there is just passionate about trading, and everybody wants to see everybody do really well. So today's guest is incredibly special to me. We actually met inside of my very first boot camp back in August when I first started trading. In my second boot camp, we were actually trading partners, and we still keep in contact, hold each other accountable, and check in pretty often. He's one of the younger guys. He works a demanding full-time job. He spent the last year planning a wedding. He recently got married, and somehow in the middle of all of that, he mastered this skill, and he recently started taking payouts from his funded prop firm accounts. So chat, I want to see a bunch of fire emojis, a bunch of waves if you guys can do it. And please welcome my trading partner, my friend, and the newlywed himself, Cameron.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you. How'd you like that intro?
That's great. That's great. Thank you. Yes, it's great to be a newlywed. Great to be a 20-minute trader.
Yes, and honestly, congratulations.
Great to see you.
Yes, and it's good to see you too. So thank you for coming on the stream. I know that people are going to want to ask you a bunch of questions, and you guys feel free. Fire off your best questions for Cameron right now. Ask how he balances it all. Ask him about 20-Minute Trader and his experience. And he's a funded trader now. He gets that title, which is really cool. How do you feel about that?
Oh, it's fantastic. It takes some time. You just got to be patient with the pattern and then trust the process, and you will get there. Honestly, I've been with 20-Minute Trader since March of 2025, and it's been an incredible journey. This is probably the most supportive group you'll ever be a part of in terms of trading, but also the community in general is just fantastic. I've made some lifelong friends here, and I've learned about trading in the process. So can't say more positive things about this. I really love it here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really cool that we get to meet people all around the world. Cameron himself, we stay in contact, and he's in Canada, and I'm in Florida.
Absolutely.
And like he says, we have lifelong friends that are spread out everywhere. I mean, we trade with people in all different time zones and
all over.
And we always tend to meet up and like hang out, trade together. There's actually a really cool room inside the club called the Unlimited Live Room, and it's open like 24 hours a day. And you're able to just pop in there, introduce yourself, and just start trading with random people, which is actually really cool. I'm going to enter this trade.
A question, Kai, about what's funded mean. I can answer that. Funded means essentially you're getting payouts from prop firms. So we work with other people's money essentially, and you get a payout from that if you prove yourself over time. So ultimately, if you're worthy, you will get that payout. So that's what I've been doing. I've been getting those payouts and not necessarily using my own direct money to do so. So it's a win-win all around.
Yeah. So prop firms are super safe. I know a lot of people are like, how does that even make sense if you're trading with other people's money? Think about it like a recruiting service or something, right? Where they have all of these employees, or in their sense, all of this money, but they actually need profitable traders to trade their money. And what they do is they're going to give you, so you pay a small fee, you pay like $100, right? And if you're paying $100, they're going to give you the test and they're going to say, hey, prove to us that you're actually a consistent, profitable trader, and don't lose us too much money, right? So the goal is always, with a 50K account, make us $3,000, but you can't lose more than $2,000. Okay. So you got to do it slow and steady, couple, even if you wanted to take $50 trades, $100 trades, and you just build that up to $3,000, you pass and they're like, cool, you can actually trade with our money. And then the count starts back over at 50K. And then from there on out, it's the same game again. You have to make $3,000 and you can't lose more than two. And once you do that, now you're able to take out real payouts, real cash money for $100 investment. We typically pull out anywhere between $500 and $2,000 per payout, right? So you just paid yourself back in 5, 10, 20 times that amount. And then you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. And there's no more fees. How the prop firm makes money is your initial fee that you paid, the $100, and then also they do keep 10% of the profits. So you keep 90% and they keep 10%. And it's actually a really cool idea because a lot of prop firms have been around for a long time, and we specifically trade futures prop firms. So I know there's like crypto prop firms and like other ones, but I don't have any experience with crypto or Forex or anything like that. So, but I did enter a trade really quick. Let me guys just show you why I entered this trade. So it was actually back here. Where is it? So back here, we had it was actually right around here. It was right here because my blue line was actually flat. So it was more pointing down. And my orange line, you guys can see that the orange line went up, right? And so with the orange line pointing up and my blue line flat, that's for short divergence, to go the blue line and continue going down. So if I want to go down, I had that pop up in the white line like we wanted. So I entered right here. This is what we call our break even, or where we entered the trade. This is the live price. So if I'm trading downwards, my profit is below me, okay? Because I'm predicting it to go down. I'm going to bring this a little bit more in range. I'm predicting it to go down. Now, if the trade goes against me, that's okay too. I'm going to bring this down as well, 93. And so what happens is, as soon as I enter the trade, I'm always going to trade with an automatic bracket order, which means that I don't have to click anything anymore. I click to enter the trade, and now I let the trade play out. So if the blue line hits that orange line, it's actually my stop loss. So it's going to exit me in the trade. I didn't click anything for a small loss, but that's the most I'm willing to risk in the trade. So we have proper risk management. We're always going to trade with a stop loss. If the blue line, right? Like if the blue line hits the green line, that's my take profit, and it'll just cash me out and collect the money. But Cameron, we all know everybody who is a good trader, and we're even taught this from the very start, you have to trade with a stop loss, because if you don't have on a stop loss, this thing could actually shoot in the other direction. And on one trade, you could lose hundreds, thousands, or you could possibly blow that prop firm account, right?
Easily. It's so easy. And it's definitely something, you may not have it on once and then you'll work out, but, or it works out 9 times, but that 10th time, that's like you just said, Kai, that's where you get in trouble. So I always recommend, just slow and steady, and just take your time. That's the 20-minute way. Just take your time, slow and steady, and then you'll eventually get there. If you try to do it without a stop loss, and even though you might have lost out on hundreds of dollars, it's better to just build that consistency, which is most important, and what 20-minute teaches us. It's that consistency, that patience, and then going into the trade when you're absolutely certain. And if you're not, that's okay. You can still walk away and trade tomorrow, which is more important than winning the trade sometimes even.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too, is if you want to be consistent, you have to be disciplined as well. So now it looks like we're getting a reversal.
I see that.
right? Now we're getting the blue line is pointing up and the orange line is flat. So this would have been an actual really good entry point right here. Let's see if we get another entry point. You guys see how the blue line is pointing up, and we had a nice drop down here in the RSI. This would have been a great entry point for a long, and it would have looked something like this. Nice quick trade right into profit. So let's see if we get the drop down one more time, if this wants to keep going up, but pretty strong downtrend. All right, getting a drop down right here. Let's try it. So I entered because we had the nice drop down right here. We are trending up still. So let me bring this within range so you guys can see it. It's like hard to get these lines out of the way of each other. All right, so we're still in an uptrend. Could be even a small uptrend, but I'm showing you guys now an example of a long trade to trade upward. So the blue line is still pointing up. The orange line is now pointing, it was flat, now it's now pointing down. And that RSI entry point we took was right here. And like I said, we follow the rules. Every trade's not going to work out, but it's good for you guys to start spotting these patterns with the divergence and then looking for entry points in the RSI. If you guys can keep practicing that, then you'll get a little bit more picky, I'll say, with your trades. And then when that lines up, you'll actually be confident enough to take the trade. You're going to trade with the trend, like all these things that we teach you, and you should be a profitable trader. So this was just, actually, it looks like it was just a strong pullback, and it might be going back on a downtrend because the Dow is dropping, MES is dropping. But I kind of want to give it some room. See if it pops back up here, because that was a pretty strong uptrend.
Yeah, that's that point you see there where that you've highlighted, it's hopefully go back there. But like I said, it's this morning it looks like it's going in a downward trend. So I wouldn't blame it if it continues in that way. And they're parallel now, right? So
and our RSI is dropping in that lower half.
Yeah, it's being in the lower half now. Yeah.
Let's see.
But that's okay. Like we said, you can't win them all. You have your stop losses on, and if it works out, works out. Great. We are getting closer to 9:30. It is 9:23, so the market is starting to react a little bit. Myself, I typically trade between 9 and 9:20. Like I really do try to stick to the 20-minute trader way.
Yeah,
and honestly, and then I get ready for work, and then I head off to work. So really treat this as like just a hobby, something that I can do in the mornings as I'm getting ready. Just get ready and then do a quick trade, one or two, and then I get on with my day. I find that the more I actually trade, the less successful I can be. I find, just really being picky, like you said, Kai, finding those right trades, maybe 3 or 4, and then being okay, cool, I won. Or if you lost, it's all right. You walk away.
Yeah. And that's, I used to come here on live and I used to be like, oh, I'm going to be super picky and I'm going to take like the best trades. And I did that for a while, but I realized that for viewers and for students, if I'm only taking in an hour 2 or 3 trades, it's not very beneficial for them, because I want them to see the good trades that work out. I want them to see the bad trades that don't work out and why. So like Cameron was saying back here, he's like, it's a riskier trade because we are in this massive downtrend, right? And we had divergence for a moment that I saw, but then it broke down very quickly, and the RSI moved down into the lower half, and it's staying down here. So wow, look at that move.
I see it's getting closer to 9:30, so it's reacting.
Yeah, so a lot of people know I don't trade from 9:27 to 9:33 because we're going to start getting these very large movements. Like we see, even if I spread this out, the most recent movements are pretty small, right? Up and down, and then look at this, bigger and even larger. This is beautiful divergence again. So this is for long divergence. It makes me like want to take it. Long divergence, blue line's pointing up, orange line is pointing down. But I don't want to take a trade getting close to that 927, but this is another example to trade upwards for long divergence. But think about it. These widgets, all they are like mini trend lines. And what I say that is there are 120 seconds of this 1 second chart of the blue line and of the orange line. So it's smoothing out all these prices that have happened in the last 120 seconds, and it's making the widget move. So the larger the moves, the faster that widget is going to turn in the opposite direction. Okay. So even though we get divergence, we don't even get a great entry point, and this thing's literally going up right up against me, but that's fine. But you guys are noticing why that trade didn't work out, right? The RSI kept dropping, moves are getting larger. And then we're going to see between 927 and 933, we're going to get a lot of this happening. And then I'm just going to move this line to 933. And then we can start looking for some trades after that. But we are still going to watch the chart and call out divergences, because it's just a good thing for you guys to start seeing the patterns and recognizing them yourselves. So Cameron, I got some questions for you.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So being a younger guy with a busy career, what made you look at 20-minute trader and think like, I can actually do this and I can fit this into my busy life?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I've been investing for a few years and just wanted to learn more about the market, but also understand the concept of day trading. I looked into all of it, the candlesticks, all the forex trading, and I was like, "But what is all this? I just want something simple that I can do before work or just over my lunch break." And I saw one of Jeremy's videos, and I was like, "This makes sense. It aligns with what I was trying to get at. Just make like $100 a day." Because when you see online all these other folks, they're trying to make thousands of dollars, and that's not what I necessarily wanted. I just wanted to just go on really quick, make a few trades, make 100, $200, and then walk away. And that's ultimately what Jeremy was preaching and continues to, and been successful that way. And traders, it can be challenging. It can be challenging, but it teaches you a lot about yourself, and it's helped me actually teach me a lot about my patience, about my impulsivities. And so for me, I just log on now, like I said earlier, after getting ready for work around 9ish, look at the pattern, see the trend lines, and then take a few trades, and then walk away with a few hundred. Like today, while we were chatting, I'd made 178.
Nice.
Just chatting and just seeing the trade, just 2 or 3, and then that's it. And then I go off for work, and I've managed to get to work for like 9:30, 10, and then that's it. I don't think about trading the rest of the day.
Yeah. It's like over and done with. And you mentioned like
Yeah.
$100, $200. If you think about it, $100, $200, even if that's over a week, that's $400 a month. If you do that even 3 times a week, $300 a week times 4, that's $1,200. So it adds up quickly, and everybody's different as far as their profit targets and their trading styles. We all learn the same pattern and the same mechanics, but we all kind of trade a little bit differently. That's why, with Cameron, he's a pre-market trader. There's a lot of people that only trade market open, that only trade at 3 o'clock, that like everybody's kind of different when it works out like that, because it's just what fits your schedule, right?
Definitely.
You don't have to, like, if I had to trade the stock market from 9:30 in the morning to 4 p.m. Eastern time, I can't. I'm at work,
Exactly.
like I don't have that available. I don't have that. So
Yeah.
the futures is really good for me and for a lot of other people, because we do have that option to trade anytime that we want, which is really cool.
It makes it so much more compatible with my lifestyle that I can just log on, follow the pattern, follow what I've been taught, and just do a few trades. Oh, it's definitely 9:30.
There goes market open.
There it is. Yeah. So this is where I would be extremely cautious myself, as the market is reacting to news stories, other situations in the world, and then it's trying to establish the trend right now. So for me personally, I would be cautious. What do you think, Kai?
I definitely don't trade market open, because these movements are very large and unpredictable, and they can go in either direction. This is like really hard to predict, and you don't want to be caught on either side of it, because think about it. Even if I'm predicting the correct direction, and I'm right, you see that move. So say we've been going down, right? Say I entered that trade to go short. That sharp movement right there would have immediately hit my stop loss. And
Oh,
look,
easily.
it's still
Yeah,
going down.
you would have been
You
hit out before you even could even react. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not how you trade, because even though we have short divergence, look at these moves in the opposite direction. They're even larger, so it'll immediately take out your stop loss, and it's not fun to just. That's like a gambly trade. That feels very gambly to me, and I don't trade like that at all.
No, and
So
it builds bad habits.
yeah,
You just want to be consistent. You want to be able to identify the pattern properly. And this right here is unpredictable. Like in seconds, it's gone up and down. How many points is that? Like that's quite a
I
lot.
mean,
So
even for MES, this is a lot,
yeah,
around 8 points. So that's for MES, and it's going to still keep going all over the place. But N Coleman's got a question for you.
yeah, absolutely.
He says, "How has the community helped support you in your trading development?"
Oh, that is a great question. So they like folks like Kai. Like Kai has been a trading partner for me when I've had rough days. I've chatted with her. She's helped me be accountable. She's helped me ensure that it's going to be okay, because there's great days in trading and then there's not so great days. And so folks like Kai have helped me just get over that hump, keep me positive, and ultimately just remind me that we're ultimately human, and that we're here to support each other and help each other. I've never been, like I said at the start, in a community that is so supportive and just wants to see every single person win. They're not trying to compete. Be like, oh, I made 500. Oh, you only made 200. It's never like that. I've never
Yeah,
experienced that. And we're just like, oh, you made $25. That's great. It's a green day. That's what matters. And so for me, it's just been such a supportive group that, like I said, I've made friends all over the US. I'm in Canada, friends in the Caribbean, friends in Europe. It's just such a remarkable community that I never expected to get out of this journey. Honestly, it's just such an added bonus.
like it makes it fun.
It really does. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful divergence here. You guys see, this is like clear as day. Blue line's pointing up, and the orange line is pointing up, but it's more flat,
Yeah.
right? And this is a very strong uptrend, but this is like way oversold. I'm going to go to a
Way
5 second.
above the ours. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be
look at
cautious. Even
how
though it's
much.
933, I'd be a little cautious because it's just
Yeah,
shooting up.
no. And even this downtrend that started like way back at 8:20 Eastern time, it's
Almost
come
reached
back. Yeah, like it's literally filled all of this over the last 40 minutes in a matter of 2 minutes, which is insane. So it doesn't matter to us, honestly, if it wants to continue going up or down. Because, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
we can make money on the way up or the way down, which is great.
That's the
But
beauty of this pattern. Like you
we're gonna
can,
wait.
as long as you have the criteria and you follow the criteria, you can do well.
Yes, and that's what's like pretty cool about it. But we're gonna wait till this for this to calm down, because this is a very, very large movement and it's still going. And here's the thing, when it's on a tear, wow, almost 30 points. When it's on a tear, you don't just jump into it blindly, because those pullbacks and those reversals that we've even seen, like I got taken out right here, that could take you out immediately. So you want to wait for that entry point, take the trade, but you want to feel good about the trade, right? So don't just jump in blindly and guess. That's definitely not how you do it. And you will get burned. You will get burned, especially if you're not confident when you enter that trade. So we're gonna let this even shake out and see how this goes, because I'm noticing right now that you know MES was going in an uptrend, but now we're kind of going sideways. You guys see that? We're coming up, down, and we're pretty much going sideways. And now the blue line is flattening out, and Dow, the orange line, is going upwards. So this could either, when it starts going sideways, that's also unpredictable. So it could either continue going upwards or completely drop out of nowhere. So this is also a riskier time to trade right now. So we're just going to watch and wait. We're not going to try to jump into anything right here. Like I said, it could go up and keep going up. That's fine. I'm just going to look for an entry point if that's the case. Or if it wants to go down, we'll let it do its thing and then look for an entry point and divergence and an entry point. But no
Yeah,
sense to rush.
sometimes you just got to be patient and wait, and that's something that you learn over time too. It's and like I said at the start, for me that was something that I had to learn. I didn't have that patience. Sometimes I would have seen that and that trend up, like you were showing earlier, kind of be like, oh, I want to jump in on that, but you really have to be patient and take your time, because it's all about the long game. It's all about ensuring that you can
Yes.
trade for tomorrow and that you don't ultimately blow it on one or two trades.
Exactly. You don't want to do that. You don't want to build up your account over days and weeks, sometimes even
Weeks.
months
And
even.
yeah,
And then you literally tank that account in 1-2 trades or 1-2, a couple of days. It
yeah,
feels really defeating.
demoralizing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like very defeating, and it does mess with your ego. So you don't want to feel like that. I don't want anybody to feel like that. And here's a perfect example. If you would have tried to just continue taking this up, it did make a small new high, but then look at that pullback. That pullback would have immediately taken us out by our stop loss,
Yep.
right? So this is what happens. And again, we are still close to market open, so the moves are pretty large. So you just got to kind of watch and wait. And the market is different every single day, and you just can't predict it sometimes. Like as much as you want to, you got to let the big money kind of do its thing, and then we're going to get in when there's actually a trend. Like we want to trade with the trend. We don't want to get slaughtered in this chop, with it just up and down, up and down, up and down. So we're going to kind of wait it out and see what it wants to do, and then we'll take a good trade. And Cameron could probably talk about this too. If he's trading for 20 minutes like we're taught, do you have how do you set like your trading style? Do you do like a daily profit target and a daily loss limit, or do you have like a number of trades that you take, or like what's
Yeah.
like your max, or like how do you gauge that for yourself?
That's a great question. Sometimes prop firms ask for about $150 a day once you're
Mm.
funded. So I usually aim for that number, 150, 200. It depends. I know some folks go for just $50 a day, and that's totally okay. You know, $5, as long green is green. At the end of the
Mhm.
day, that's better than blowing an account, or just seeing, like, walking away and be like, hey, it's not my day. For me
Mhm.
though, like I said, I aim for 150. Once I hit that 150 target, it's great. Sometimes you're gonna hit 143 and you're like, okay, 143. That's it. That's it for the day. Because if you try to go for it, like you said, your ego can be impacted. It can get in the way.
Yeah.
For me, I really try to keep it less trades too, like under 10. If I go over that and I look at the pattern of myself, um, it never necessarily works out. Like I said earlier, the more I trade, the less successful I tend to be, because then uh, the looking at the charts for a long period of time tends to mess with your head a bit. You tend to see things that are not necessarily there, and then when you step away, you're like, wait a second, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
So for me, like I said, I come on fresh, really right mindset, sit down, do a few trades, make my green, and then walk away and get ready and finish getting ready for work, and then head off to work 9:30, 10. And
Yeah.
honestly, it's really the best way, especially if you're starting off. The more, like, yeah, if you're practicing, sure, but do that in a practice account, like what you're doing right now. But if
Yes.
you're gonna sit there for hours a day trying to make money, like, it's and especially if you're starting off, if you don't, you'll see the patterns. They'll come to you, like you said, Kai, for like second
Mhm.
nature. But when you're starting off, just really, either if you're trying to make money, just a few trades. Really, I can't recommend that enough.
Yeah, I tell students all the time, I'm like, practice as much as you want, but
Mm-hmm.
just know that a lot of those trades, because you're not being picky, you're not going to work out.
Yeah.
So even in practice, the longer you're trading and the better that you're getting, just try to back off even on your practice account and say, like, okay, I'm only going to take 5 trades and let's see how this goes. And out of your 5 trades, see what your win rate is. You might have gotten 4 out of 5. You might have gotten 3 out of 5. If you're only getting 2 out of 5, you're not being picky enough, right? Your win rate's below 50%. So
Yeah.
the less trades you take, definitely the better.
Yeah, and like you said, if you're practicing, try to be as picky as possible. Like make sure that what you're doing, you're not just trying to make green, you're trying to follow the pattern, which is most important.
Yeah,
Following the criteria, and then that will then ultimately lead you to being successful and then getting payouts.
exactly. Exactly. So, look, we came up sharply. That pullback was very strong, came back up, and look at this rip down. So definitely strong trends. And also, tomorrow is a big news day. We have GDP tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So I think people are anticipating that release. But we're going to try to see if we see some divergence appearing soon in this short trend. But we also got to be aware that this could actually be another type of pullback. So we're going to wait for good divergence here. We do see that the blue line's pointing down. The orange line is more flat.
Yeah,
So
you see
good
something coming.
downtrend. Come up a little bit higher with that white line. Let's try taking that one. Where's my 100?
Hopefully it stays. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Perfect. That.
Keep going. If the divergence still looks good, one more push down and we should be there. Still dropping.
Yeah, hopefully.
There we go.
Yeah, I always picture perfect guy.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That was a great one. Everything was there.
Yeah, like you see, it's literally, even it's still there. You guys can see the blue line's pointing down, the orange line is pointing up. We had the nice pop up right there.
Yeah, your entry point was fantastic. Right as it hit the RSI.
Right? And then you guys see, in 20 minutes, we could sit here and watch the chart for 20 minutes, but that trade, you guys saw, that trade was what, 3 seconds, maybe 10 seconds max, and we were immediately in profit for over $100. A lot of people, their trading style is what they call a one and done, and they literally are so picky that they take one trade a day, whether it's a profit or a loss, and they walk away. Because as you see, that one trade was like $100 something. That's a good trading day, $100 a day. Of course you're going to have losses, but if you could finish your week green or your month green, you're like way ahead of the game. And that's being super picky, super disciplined. And that could work for some people, right? So don't feel like you have to overtrade or get in as many trades as possible. That's not how we do it in 20-minute trader. I myself, when I'm trading my 20 minutes, I have 3 trades max. And if my first 2 trades are red and they're substantial, I'm probably going to just stop trading and not even take the third. But I do give my allowance, I give myself that allowance to have 3 trades. So that's what works for me. Sometimes I do just a one and done. If I hit like a $200 trade on one trade, I'm done for sure. I'm done on one trade, because if I'm up 200, I don't want to trade again and then possibly risk that money and the market taking my money. What I want to do every day is I want to take money out of the market, right? That's the goal. As soon as I'm green and I feel good about that green, I'm locking out. I'm done. And I think that's really hard for a lot of people, because it's the mentality of why would you stop trading and not, if you made $200 in that trade, why can't you just take another $200 trade or trade 5 trades and see if you can make $1,000? Like, no, that's definitely not it. It's literally shoot for around, everybody's different. Cameron shoots for 150.
Yep.
Some people shoot for $50 a day. That's perfectly fine too. But just have a goal in mind for that daily profit target. And then also, say you hit, like Cameron says, if he hits -40, he's also done for the day. He's not going to risk losing more, right? You guys don't want to do that kind of trading. That's super stressful and it really messes with your mindset. So definitely don't do that. What other questions do we have going on in here? All right. LJ Molina says, do I have to pay for the real-time MES data? If you do the trial, I'm not sure, the free trial, but we do have to have the premium subscription to trade on the 1 second chart in TradingView. This is the gold pattern strategy, and it's literally 20-minute trader is the trading style. We only want students in front of the charts for 20 minutes a day to actually trade their account. Of course, you can practice. I think that practicing for 30 minutes a day is fine. But when you actually sit down at the computer to trade your real account or even your reference account or whatever you guys want to call that, just pick 20 minutes because you don't want to overdo it or get burnt out. So Cameron, you took your funded payouts. Where did your first payout go? Did they go straight to the honeymoon budget?
Actually, it did. I'm going on a honeymoon in later in July. So yeah, it actually did go to honeymoon. It's a very good assumption. So
and it's good because you get to share it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I got to share it. She put up with me while I was learning this pattern and the patience it requires. So why not, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Do you have any like weird things you have to do before you start trading, or like, is there something that like you have to do, or as part of like your pre-flight checklist that if you don't do it, like you don't feel good about trading, or you're not going to trade?
I think it's just a matter of if I've gotten enough sleep and if I'm like ready. If I'm rushing it, if I'm just like forcing it, then I find that it doesn't work out. You know.
Good point.
So for me, it's just a matter of waking up, sitting down, making sure I have enough time. If I'm just trying to like rush it in before the market opens, or if I'm trying to just ultimately get in and sorry, that was a great trip. I had to jump in. Ultimately, for me, it's just a matter of if I can get in and be confident and sit down, take a deep breath, and see the pattern, focus on a few trades, and get in and out. Obviously, you know, having a clean desk helps.
Yes.
Having a good cup of coffee, and then making sure that I'm in the right headspace. I think another thing too is the importance of like walking away after a trade. You take one trade and then you step away, you know, go fill up your coffee and then come back. I think sometimes we get so focused in the charts, and that if we had taken a moment, we would have realized that's actually not a pattern. We're trying to force it. So
yeah, you got to take a break from the charts. I mean, because number one, it's hard staring at a screen like that, but also think about it, how much mental capacity you're using on a 1 second chart. You're continuously analyzing the chart and you will get burnt out from it, right? So you don't want to get burnt out. You want to be fresh and ready to trade. And you want to approach every trade entirely different. Like you want to do the same thing over and over again. You want to look at the actual trend. What trend are we in right now? Right? Which way are the widgets going? How is the market moving? Is it making these large erratic moves? You know, and when it does and you don't feel good about it, it's okay to literally have a no trade day or just practice that day. And if practice trades aren't
absolutely
right, like if the practice trades aren't going good, definitely don't risk your real account just because you want to trade. Keep practicing. It's a good thing to do, right? All right, what other questions we got going on in here? Yeah, look at you guys. Poly Pocket. I'm in profit 125, done for the day on a short.
amazing.
Trade. Good job. Jamelina, M1 or M1 exclamation mark. Let's see. Mine is just YM, new price scale. That's all I use. But it depends, I think, what platform you're on. If you're on a different platform, it might change. Yeah, the gold pattern is definitely simple. It's literally 3 lines on a chart, and you're looking for 2 things. You're looking for divergence, opposite directions of the blue and the orange, and you're looking for an entry point in the RSI. So this is for anybody. If you guys are never traded before, never used a chart before, this is pretty basic. If you guys are beginner traders or even intermediate or advanced traders looking for something simplified, this is also, a simplified way to trade. So, man, look at these moves. Like up,
Unreal.
straight down.
This is, yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah, this is another at least a 30-point move. Yeah, literally 28 points. So a little dangerous to trade because the pullbacks and the reversals are so sharp that I will say that between 9:30 and 10 o'clock they consider this market open. And there's a lot of volume and a lot of volatility. If you're a new trader, I would suggest either trading pre-market, so before 9:30, or after 10 p.m. Eastern time. It tends to chill out a little bit and have more of a trend.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. is great, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you said 10 p.m.
Oh, I'm sorry, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. I love that time. If I can trade during that time, I'm probably going to. But pre-market's also really good, like Cameron trades, because it's before all this craziness happens. The movements are much more predictable. When the market's doing these large moves and pullbacks, it makes it a little tough. But again, it is market open, so it happens.
It also, like we've seen, I've been here for about, like I said, a year and a bit.
Yeah.
The market has changed dramatically during that time. Like previously, we used to trade market open.
Yes.
Now it's as you can see, it's a bit hectic. So
yes,
it may not be advisable for those who are learning just to see the pattern. It can be a bit overwhelming. There are certain people that do trade at this time, but as you can see, as guys zooming in and out, it can be a bit challenging because those moves are so sharp. So find a time that works for you. For me, it just so happens to be pre-market. It's calmer. I can see what the trends are that way. And then I can get on with my day before the market even opens. I'm pretty much done. But like Kai said, at 10 a.m., it tends to calm down a bit, and you can see a consistent pattern that it may be taking for the rest of the day. It really depends on what you think is best for your schedule and your comfort level. Like you said, Kai, like my comfort level is pre-market, and that way I can be done and on with my day before 9:30.
Exactly. And it is definitely important to, when you're first starting off, try different time frames. But when you actually get to being, you want to practice during different time frames, but you also want to notice like your win rate, or when are you the best? When is your performance the best? So, a lot of people when they first start trading, they literally wake up and get on the computer, and I'm like, you're not even awake yet. Definitely don't do that. Like, make sure you do some things around the house, or you don't want to get in front of the chart with like a foggy brain and not be awake and make silly mistakes like you're on the wrong account, or whatever you're doing. Definitely don't do those kind of things. What I will say is everybody should have, like I asked Cameron about his pre-flight checklist. This is what you do and what you look at before you even start trading. So for some people, this is like anywhere from checking all of their technology, like making sure they're on the right platform, the right settings, all this kind of stuff. There's also things that are like, how are you feeling today? You rate yourself from 1 to 10. If you're not feeling great or you didn't sleep great, that's a sign to not trade. If you wake up with a headache, or the kids are going crazy, or the dog threw up, or whatever's going on, that's probably not the best day to trade. And life happens, and that's okay. But we have this checklist because you want to be able to perform at your best, not just wing it. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm just going to wing it. Like, no, that's definitely not a good habit with anything. But it might work out a time or two, but there are definitely times that it's not going to work out. Callie's asking me, good morning, Kai, when do you trade in the real account? I used to trade in the real account every single morning. If my practice trades are going really good and the market is predictable, you guys see, I jump into my real account, my prop firm account, and I trade it. But you guys have seen this morning, I've taken 4 trades. I've won one of them. So the market is
Mhm.
just so erratic for me that I know myself that the trades just aren't working out for me today. It's not as predictable, and that does happen. There's no pattern or strategy that's 100%. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to trade my real account today because I don't want to risk my green. A lot of my accounts are in profit, and I don't want to just be silly and risk my profits for a market like this. Like this market today, to be perfectly honest with you guys, this isn't worth it for me to trade. It's not begging me to trade at all. If anything, it's like a turn off to me today. I'm like, you know what? 1 out of 4, it happens, but I don't feel great about it. I don't feel bad about it, but also it's like it's just not my day. These aren't my trades. This isn't how I trade. So for me, I'm okay not trading my accounts. And like I said earlier, I could still just keep practicing and paper trading, and that's cool too.
Yeah.
So getting in my
Practice sometimes
practice.
in a day like today is the best thing you can do.
Yeah,
And then if you're seeing it do really well in your practice accounts, maybe give it a one shot in the real one. But sometimes, like you said, Kai, it's just not worth it. You just
yeah,
really have to gauge your mood, gauge your comfort level, and how you like. There's so many factors that we bring into trading that we
yeah.
don't often consider. All those examples you said earlier, Kai, are great, and we want to walk into trading with a clear mind, ready to go, and you are expecting to ultimately make a trade based on the criteria, and you're not just going off of intuition. You really want to follow criteria and just be as clinical as you possibly can. And if there are other factors in your life that are impacting you, that will sometimes come out in your trading, unfortunately. So you just want to take your time and not rush the process.
Definitely don't rush the process. And what I'm just trying to show you guys is how strong these movements are. And I'm going to draw a lot on my chart right now just because I'm zooming out and I want you to see. So market open was right about here. So we came down, we came up, we came down, we came up, big down, pull back, continuation, reversal. Look at that. So that is seriously a lot. That is very strong movements, not predictable. This is a day not to trade. And all this box is showing you is a 50% range. So if this is going from 1 to 100, this is 50%. And it's literally coming up past this in just the pullbacks. Like this pullback right here, this pullback right here. This is very wild morning. Okay. So I don't want you guys to feel like you guys need a FOMO trade or rush trades or force trades. Do not force trades. Some days it's just not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we do this here live. Some days are awesome. Some days you guys see me kill it sometimes, but today's just not that day. It's all
No,
good. Sorry,
that's
Cam.
okay.
Some
We
more
are
movement.
getting closer to 10, so we might see some more erratic movements.
Yeah, we are getting closer to 10. We're going to end the stream off, you guys. If you guys have any more questions, drop them in the chat. We'll try to get to a bunch really quick. What stock is this? I'm trading the blue line, which is MES. How do you know if the market is going up or down? I don't, but I try to trade with the trend. What is your Instagram? Do you go live daily? My Instagram is Kai_20min trader. And yes, I go live daily every morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern time. I am live on the charts. You guys can catch me. You guys can watch me. You guys can trade along with me. Definitely get your TradingView account. Set up your paper trading account so you guys can practice along with me. And if you guys have any interest in 20-minute trader or the gold pattern, go ahead and type the word class in the comments right now. If you guys are in Facebook or Instagram, if you guys are in YouTube or anywhere else, you guys can scroll to this description, and then that's where you can register for the free webinar. And you guys can find out more about 20-minute trader and why so many of us trade this every single morning. Cameron, it's been an absolute blast. It's so great seeing you. Thanks for making some time for us. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you. This has been fun. Talk soon.
Yeah. So now you got a taste of 20-minute trader live TV. How was it?
It's just great. I really love this platform. This is fun, and then just kind of chatting about it's been great, and then catching up,
Yes.
And I can't say it enough how much 20-minute traders not only helped me like improve my trading, but really on a personal level, like taught me a lot about myself. And trading will do that, and it teaches you some really good habits if you follow the process. It can also teach you bad ones if you don't.
Yeah. And it is like definitely a mirror. You got to look at yourself, and you are definitely pushing yourself to the limit as far as
You really are.
mentally, because when money's on the line, emotions come into play, and we just have to kind of compartmentalize that and not focus so much on the dollar and focus more on the process and the
Absolutely.
strategy. And then it literally just clicks and works out. I don't even know how to describe that, but it just works.
It just clicks.
It just clicks. So trust the process. If you guys want to be traders, this is definitely a great place to start. We have a great time. Everybody's super friendly. Nobody judges anybody in the community. If you're having a bad day, we'll build you up. If you're having a great day, we're going to cheer you on. And there's live classes daily for you guys to check out. The U-shaped pattern is completely free. The gold pattern, there is a cost, but you're paying because the gold pattern has a very high win rate. And like I said, I'm only trading 2 things of the gold pattern. This isn't necessarily the full package of the gold pattern, because for you to trade the gold pattern, you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement because it is proprietary. But I can't give away all of the secret sauce, right? So just know that the more pieces of the gold pattern that you put together, the higher the win rate is. And this is why you guys meet so many traders that are profitable, because the process and the gold pattern actually does work. But
Really
I'm giving
does.
you a little sneak peek into the gold pattern, just the start of it. And even still, you guys see that it doesn't have a terrible win rate, and we're still profitable most mornings. But today just didn't work out, and that's okay. So we'll just take that as an L, but that's all good. Tomorrow we're going to be cautious because tomorrow is GDP. So thank you guys for all tuning in this morning. Thank you for sharing your part of your day with us. Just keep practicing if you guys want to. Take a break from the charts is what I would honestly recommend. Come back around like 10:15 and then see if you guys are able to spot some gold patterns, some entry points, and then I will catch you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. sharp, and we'll do it all over again. Everybody have a great Wednesday. Good to see you, Cam, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Later, traders.